Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League here from Indianapolis Raceway Park, Lucas Oil Speedway. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe. I'm Bob. And Joe, tonight is a very fun, a unique TNR experience, a TNR doubleheader. The first race here at Lucas Oil Raceway, Indianapolis Raceway Park. A very short track, a very flat track where you would think the racing line is at the bottom, like a lot of these tracks. It's going to be all the way up top, right up against the wall. Perfect for some diving moves into the corner, trying to, you know, push the guy up top off into the wall, and always some interesting times here at IRP.
Absolutely. I can't wait. This is going to be a fun one. And I'm glad you said the top, because whenever I race this track, I usually sit towards the bottom and crash.
And that would explain a lot. Let's jump on. Excuse me. Let's jump on board here with the 77 machine of John Cannizzaro Jr. as he so far fastest on the board. Let's jump on to see what his qualifying lap is going to look like. Drives into the corner right between that first and second hash mark, and just a little too hard, and he's going to get up into the outside wall. That is something you're going to have to watch out for as this race goes on. Here's Jamar Dumas getting a good drive out of the corner. It's all about managing risk versus reward. You could drive into this corner deep, but it's going to hurt your tires, and it's really going to affect your exit. Dumas not having that issue as he's green so far in the first half of his lap. As he'll drive in, roll the center of the corner, get a good drive out, got real loose. And he will do a 22 flat. That's going to put him P2 so far on the board.
Looking like Cannizzaro Sr. is having a rough go trying to put down a qualifying lap.
Yeah, let's see what he's going to experience here. Coming out of turn 4, big loose moment there. He had to get out of the gas, and right there, tapping the wall. Every little wall hit like that in iRacing actually throws away your lap time. So even that light little brush against the wall, this lap's not going to count for him. Out of turn 4, Cannizzaro does put a lap in with a 23.1. He's got a little bit of time to go. But this track is very difficult. Adam Stewart looking like he's having a couple of connection issues. And the Dodge Ford has been replaced with the Ford. Welts clothing machine. Beautiful looking race car. Another great looking car here is the 32 of Shane Ewing. Those Dizzy Motorsports paint schemes are absolutely fantastic.
I'm trying to make a dizzy pun, but
we have two races tonight. We have two races. I'm sure you'll have plenty of time. 100 laps here at IRP to kick us off. And then a short 40-lap sprint to the finish at Indy. At the big track, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In real life, for the Indy 500, they do the little 500 here with the different lower-ranked open wheel and non-NASCAR series where they race here at IRP the days leading up to the Indy 500. And then obviously Indy 500 is at the big track, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And NASCAR kind of does something fairly similar with the Truck Series racing here at IRP, and then Cup and Xfinity over at the big track.
They should double down. Put a smaller track on the inside for go-karts.
You know, that would be something.
And then double down again and put a slot car version of the inside.
I mean, there is, if we zoom out here, if we get the blimp static, they do actually have a rallycross layout here at IRP as qualifying comes to an end. John Cannizzaro Jr. gets the pole with a 21.940 as the Hoosier Double gets ready to get underway. But you can see the access road there at the bottom of your screen. That is part of the Rallycross dirt track where they race down the front stretch into partially into turn one, cut through the infield, do a couple of jumps, get back on pit road, race the wrong way, air quotes, down pit road, turn around at the end of pit road, get back up on the main track. It's also part of a road course, as you see the layout in towards turn 3 by the billboards, as well as a drag strip behind the front stretch. But we'll take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's race. It's the Hoosier Double at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. John Cannizzaro Jr. is on the pole, Shane Ewing on his outside. Row number 2, we have Philip Scott and Jamar Dumas. Row number 3, we've got Jason Schue and Adam Stewart. Row number 4, John Cannizzaro Sr. and Nick Simpson. Row number 5, Anthony DeBarro, Tim Branson with Garrett Gleason, rounding out our 11-car field for race number 1. DeBarro nursing a bit of a cold, so he said he's just going to start from the back and, you know, see what happens this evening. Field down the back straightaway one more time. We'll take a look at the points implications for that momentarily. But the pace car pulls in. Field in the hands of Cannizzaro Jr. Now the green flag is out, and we're racing here at IRP. Cannizzaro gets a great jump. Philip Scott just behind him. Shane Ewing is going to slide on into P2. A little bit of a gaggle further back. They're side by side. This is all a battle for roughly 4th place. As Cannizzaro Sr. to the inside of Jason Schue, Adam Stewart in there, as well as Nick Simpson and Anthony DeBarro. Adam Stewart having a couple of connection issues.
Yeah, we thought that was going to be a maybe just qualifying, but that might be persisting today.
Yeah, certainly not ideal to be racing around both people and for just yourself.
Yeah.
As we see Stewart back out. It's going to be interesting to see what DeBarro can do moving his way up through the field. He said he's battling a little bit of a bronchitis situation. So he said if he starts swerving, he's coughing. No other reasons.
And for me, it's the opposite. I'm swerving, I'm trying to drive. I'm coughing, I'm probably gripping the wheel harder.
Only slightly. Here comes Shane Ewing trying to take a look to the top side, driving out of the corner. Really do get a good sense of speed watching these guys come flying out of turn 4. Here comes DeBarro trying to put the move on Cannizzaro Sr. DeBarro really trying to work that bottom. It's just so hard to do. You really have to get a good drive in and almost slide up the track just like that. A little slide job action from the DeBarro sliders machine.
I already got one.
So right now, as they run, the only drivers who've made any moves, Anthony DeBarro is up 3 positions. Adam Stewart is down 3 positions. Everyone else is running where they started.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Cannizzaro fares in this track. Like you said, it's heavy wear on the tires if you run them a little hot, and I mean, you just got to call a spade a spade. Cannizzaro runs hot.
He does. He is very aggressive, very fast. And sometimes he's even said that, you know, his biggest weakness is just not being able to conserve tires well enough.
Ewing putting on a great showing right on his tail.
Yeah, Ewing is our sponsor here tonight, but he's currently getting pressured by the 99 of Philip Scott. There is Philip Scott. His last lap, 7/100ths of a second faster than Cannizzaro, so he's moving his way up. Taking a look at the point standings here coming into tonight's race. The leader of the points is, no surprise, Anthony DeBarro with 319 points. If DeBarro was not racing, we would have an incredibly tight points race between Philip Scott and John Cannizzaro Jr. As you see up there on the board, 184 points for Scott, 179 for Cannizzaro. Jamar Dumas is in the hunt as well.
Yeah, that makes this doubleheader very important. for the 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, especially, I mean, if you look back, Shane Ewing, this is a great opportunity for him. Coming into tonight, he's got 120 points. He's 1 point behind Schlosser, 3 behind House. Neither of them are in the race tonight. So those are some spots that he potentially could pick up. And if he's running now where he finishes, or finishes now where he's running, he'll easily eclipse both of those drivers and move his way back up to 5th position.
Yeah.
So right now, everyone kind of minding their own P's and Q's. As I say this, Jamar Dumas is going to fall victim to the 27 of DeBarro.
As one does.
Not to make any assumptions, but Michael Jordan had his flu game. Is this going to be the DeBarro bronchitis game?
You never know. It really, I think, is going to come down to pit strategy.
Oh, trouble. There is trouble out on the racetrack. Did not really see what had happened. Well, seeing as though the 4 is missing a bumper, let's take a look.
If I had to go on the limb
to see what happened there with the 4.
Oh.
And they got a little bit squirrely. Let's take a look here. This is coming out of turn 2. Stewart has a little bit of a connection issue. 55 got loose. The 92 got in the back of the 4. I don't think the 92 saw what had happened and didn't realize that the 4 checked up. So going in the corner, yeah, right there, you can't see much. And then, unfortunately for him, the 4 was just right there.
Yeah. Well, so it looks like everybody's getting into the pits.
Everyone in their cousin pits, except for Tim Branson. Tim Branson stays out.
Unfortunately, Cannizzaro Sr. missed his box.
Yeah, he saw Senior there having to back up a couple of times, but they're all down and away. Cannizzaro Jr. wins the race off of pit road. Shane Ewing, Philip Scott,
now Branson pits.
Then DeBarro. Now Branson heads down pit road, like Joe mentioned. So our first caution of the day, working lap 20. Field gonna bunch up one more time. Eric Leeson has taken his car behind the wall. Adam Stewart also on pit road.
We'll see if he's trying to recover damage or if he's just feeling and going. It's one of those things where you never know what kind of damage he has.
Yeah, and still missing the rear bumper cover of his number 4 Ford. Although, we never know what the cosmetic issue is versus any, wheel damage or alignment issues or anything along those lines. So it's going to be interesting to see how that car drives, but he was able to keep it on the lead lap. He's just going to have to hustle to get his way around the racetrack as the pace car pulls off. Field in the hands yet again of John Cannizzaro Jr. Slowly into the restart zone he goes. Green flag is in the air, and Adam Stewart pulls it down pit road.
He must
He
be
may
having
just
more
be
issues than we thought.
having some more tech issues with the car.
Yeah, he might have fuel changed tires, went out and realized, ooh,
Yeah, all right.
something's not right.
Slightly worse damage than we thought. As some contact there between Cannizzaro and Schue. Looks like the two of those drivers just kind of came together a little bit exiting turn 4. None worse for wear as we're all clean and green so far. Quarter of a way through this one already. It's Shane Ewing versus John Cannizzaro Jr. But don't look now. Look who's coming in the rear view mirror. That's the 27 of Anthony DeBarro, and he's got a bumper full of Philip Scott.
It does. So it looks like Dumas isn't trying to let him breathe either, so.
No, he's got a bit of a Congo line forming here from third on back. You could really see how much these cars move around on this track. It is not a flat nor smooth racetrack. This camera here right on the front nose of the 99 machine. What a great run through the middle of the corner. It just couldn't quite capitalize on exit. DeBarro has a much better entry, a little slower through the middle, but able to drive off the corner better. And trouble!
Oh,
Shane Ewing goes around.
Oh man, he was doing great. I wonder what happened there. Did he die? We just saw him. Big damage on that tire.
Yeah, that left front is not at all connected.
No, we're gonna go ahead and see him on the next race.
Yeah, let's take a look here at the 32 and see what happened. We'll try to back it up just a little bit more. So here is Ewing coming out of turn 2, and it just snaps sideways on him. Oh, man.
It looked like he hit a rock.
There.
I know there's no rocks in iRacing, but I don't know if he tapped that rear wall or.
So he just got real loose and hit right as that wall jutted out, which I don't know if that's better or worse, but
right.
Yeah, that thing is not very happy. We'll take one more look here in the cockpit of this number 32 machine because it's a violent hit. You could already see his hands already steering hard right because he knows the back end wants to race the front. And
good brakes. You can see how far he has to turn it to go straight.
Yeah, and you can see the car really fighting him there.
Oof.
Oh, yeah, look at that. You just... not much he could do there.
Yeah.
So, we're working under our second caution. Weather outside right now, 73 degrees, 2-mile-an-hour wind, clouds. 38% humidity as well. So overall, a pretty nice night here for TNR Racing. Field should be getting the one to go soon. And here it is, and look who's made his way to the front of the field.
Yeah.
Took 31 laps.
Here we are.
And we'll see how this one plays out. The field coming into the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. And we're back underway. Oh, the 11 Nick Simpson grabs the wall. Might have had some wheel spin, but meanwhile, we'll keep this one up front. DeBarro, Cannizzaro, side by side, their turn number 2, down the back straightaway, no one giving an inch. Through 3 and 4, they're just about even. Now into 1 and 2. DeBarro has the advantage. Can Cannizzaro power along the inside? He gets up just on the back bumper of the 27. I don't think there was contact, but they're right there on the back bumper of each other.
Yeah, friendly tap is a friendly tap. Fine. Oh.
Cannizzaro Sr. snags the ball back there, too.
And Simpson right after that.
A little bit of a, oh yeah, you did that? Well, I guess I did too.
If we all do it, we could move the wall just a couple inches.
Just give me 1 or 2 quick centimeters, and I'll have a lap time that's about 1,000th better, and I'll be okay with that. Three cars out of the race this evening. Shane Ewing with that vicious wreck just a couple of laps ago. Adam Stewart and Garrett Gleason. Right now, Philip Scott trying to put the pressure here on the 77 of Cannizzaro. Scott started third. Currently running in third. He's going to take a look to the top side, try to roll the top. Unable to do so for now. As now he says, all right, let's try to use this bottom line. Tries to use the apron as a bit of a turning aid. He's going to get a little bit closer to the 77.
That's a dangerous line to run.
When it hits, it works great, but oh boy, is it hard to do.
Yeah, and when it hits, so does the wall.
Yeah.
Looks like Cannizzaro is able to claw back about 100th of a second, but
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting in that 0.7, 0.8 range. Meanwhile, we've got a 4-car race here for 5th. Cannizzaro Sr., Schue, Simpson, and Branson. And oh, trouble. Big wreck down the back straightaway.
oh,
Cannizzaro and Schue. And oh, some heavy, heavy left front damage on that number 3 machine.
yeah. I think one of his tires is not in the right direction.
Yeah, that left front tire should be pointing the way you're telling the car to go, not towards the right.
It says left front.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Let's go slow-mo because the 3 caught up to the 55.
Yeah.
But right there, he got into the wall. There was nowhere for the 3 to go. You can see there he slams on the brakes.
And then
But
away
unfortunately,
they both go.
Both of them hit, and then right there, hard lick there for the 3. That's what destroyed his left front.
Then a nice T-bone because he couldn't stop.
Little insult to injury there as they both just kind of bump into each other.
And then that one guy's RV is going to need a car wash after all that grass.
Yeah. I like to think of it as battle scars. So an interesting strategy here. The entire field pitted on lap 43 just now.
Yeah.
Except for this guy, Philip Scott. So Philip Scott stayed out.
Yeah, is he going to pit now?
No, it looks like he's just kind of running the bottom side. Because that is one thing with iRacing. They do simulate, obviously track temperature. And the more cars race on a surface, the hotter it's going to be. So it's a bit of a way to cool your tires is just race opposite or drive opposite the racing line under yellow. And that actually does cool your tires down slightly. More than it would if you're just kind of running the racing line under yellow.
Right.
So we'll see what happens here. So Philip Scott, the only one on old tires. The rest of the field on brand new tires. Third caution of the evening. Pace car pulls off. And the field is in the command of the 99 of Philip Scott. He's going to run the top side. At a turn number 4, green flag is in the air. And we're back underway here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Great start by Scott.
He had a great jump there, and I'm a little bit surprised. He must have saved those tires at least. So now if we run, Jamar Dumas gets real sideways. He's able to keep it off at least keep it from spinning as he got into the wall quite a bit.
Yeah.
But now Philip Scott.
Schue is out here.
Yeah, Jason Schue still out on track, currently running in 7th position, even with all that damage. But here comes the 27 trying to take a look to the inside of Cannizzaro, of Scott. Scott's going to have to play heavy defense here. He knows he's at the tire advantage as far as, sets of tires in the pits.
Right. I wonder if he's hoping for no more yellows, and then he'll be able to pit in like 30 laps where everyone else is going to be closer to like 80 or 90. I don't know what the...
I think he might be thinking that, if he can hold off for now, he's hoping for a late yellow where if the rest of the field has used their last set of tires, he's still going to have an extra fresh set, and fresh tires are so important here.
Yeah. That makes more sense. That's why they pay you the big bucks. It's like Cannizzaro had some issues a few laps ago and ended up pitting. I think maybe he's trying to get some work done. Maybe he wasn't. I think he found some damage that he didn't know he was aware of.
Yeah, I'm getting reports of the 55 having an issue. Let's take a look. So he gets a little bit of wall glue there. And some issues there, able to keep it going because no other cars were anywhere near him on the track.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, out front, Anthony Tabaro leads 1.1 seconds over Cannizzaro Jr.
We'll see if Tabaro could hold on. Maybe that's what he was referring to last week when he said we didn't want to talk to him anymore. Is if you have bronchitis, you don't have to worry about talking to the commentators.
You know, that is a fair point. That lets you skip out of that sort of thing. Tabaro running the top side. So some breaking news regarding the second race of this doubleheader. We're actually going to keep it here at IRP, and it's going to be a 50-lap dash to the finish in lieu of heading over to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So a 50-lap race will follow immediately after this first race.
Interesting.
So that is going to be quite an interesting time here. And I think that's going to be real interesting, especially now with the way how everyone kind of has a feel for the track. They don't need to worry about practicing a completely different racetrack or any of that kind of stuff. So I think that's going to be a very, very good thing.
I think Ewing is probably excited about that one because he was doing great until he had that just unfortunate wall tap. Not sure about Cannizzaro Sr. and Stewart, how they're feeling about running this track again.
Yeah, I think Ewing's going to want that back. Senior and Stewart are probably saying, oh, well, here we go again.
Yeah. 50-50 on Schue. I'm sure he's excited to have more of an axle.
Yeah, more of a working front end, I think, is certainly ideal.
Yeah.
But right now, this battle for fourth is incredible. The 28 of Jamar Dumas, he's had some contact with the wall a couple of times. The 92 of Tim Branson has had a couple of issues as well. Nick Simpson, quiet but good race for him. And that's what I love about these doubleheader races where, you know, you see guys that you don't normally see running in some positions, and it's all about attrition. It's all about, you know, mental fortitude as it is about, you know, how good you are at hitting your line and driving away.
Yeah.
As this battle rages on, you're not missing anything out front. Anthony Tabaro's opened up a 3.6 second gap. There's a little bit of contact there between Dumas and Simpson. Dumas trying to paint the bottom, Simpson running the top. Both guys meeting right there in the middle as Dumas is going to squeak his way in behind the 11. So again, if you're just joining us, Anthony Tabaro started in the back, working his way up. He's currently our leader. 100 laps in this IRP Hoosier double. As Dumas gets in the wall hard, just drove in a little too much. Tires did not want to stick there. But this IRP Hoosier double 100 lap race, guys are going to take a quick break, do a little warm-up action, and then we're racing for race number 2, 50 laps right here at IRP again. Short track racing under the lights. And Joe, taking a look at the schedule next week, a very small track, as the field will be racing at South Boston Speedway. Little bull ring with multiple pit roads.
I didn't even know Boston had a speedway.
Good old South Boston, Virginia.
Oh, that makes more sense.
The closest track to Boston is probably New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Or at least here in iRacing. Plenty of other great racetracks up in the Northeast with Thompson, also in iRacing, Stafford. I was torn whether or not I wanted to have them race at Sobo or Stafford or Thompson. Might actually have them race at Oswego next season, which is another great flat short track up in New York State. That track every year they actually convert it from asphalt to dirt and run a bunch of dirt races up there too. So in iRacing, it's both a dirt and asphalt racetrack. Meanwhile, you see Jason Schue. He has gone a lap down to the leaders. This battle's still raging on.
I'm just shocked he's still racing with that tire.
Yeah, he must have gotten a little bit of the damage fixed, but it's probably still not driving at all anywhere near where he wants it to be.
Yeah, which is probably straight.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just like generating excess heat for that tire. It should be just a little cocked.
Yeah, it's probably not the best feeling. And I'm interested actually. Let's jump on board. Let's take a look at the helmet cam here for Jason Schue. Yeah, you can see how much he has to turn the wheel just to get it to turn. Down the front straightaway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That orange line tells the story.
And, you know, we are going to see that a little bit of an offset for this track, just to kind of help you turn. But even then, that is quite a bit from center.
Yeah,
Going
you can
straight.
see how much he can't. He's got to feather everything, and you can't really drive in deep with it.
No, you really can't.
I think he's just racing for the laps.
Yeah, I'm also sure he's sitting there saying, all right, you know what? No one else, if anyone else wrecks out, I want to keep going just to have more laps than the next guy could.
Yeah, I think that's where he's at.
But meanwhile, we still got ourselves a great battle here for fourth between Simpson, Dumas, and Branson. They've fallen off slightly, but still all kind of packed together. Branson now trying to put a little bit of pressure here on the 28 of Dumas. Oh, a little bit of trouble there as Dumas caught the wall. That's going to allow Branson to get around him for fifth. A little more contact with the wall between the 92 and the wall. Oh, Branson snags the wall there as well, and they see the leader behind them. With 18 laps to go, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys fighting is going to affect DeBarro. DeBarro does have a 6-second lead over the 77. Dumas trying everything he can to catch back up to the 92. As DeBarro just cruising off into the sunset on a little Monday night drive. Couple more wall hits there for the 92 and the 28. And I think DeBarro just says, all right, there's 15 to go. I don't need this. I can back it down. And he backs it down tremendously. Look at that. Backed it down almost a second. That let Cannizzaro catch back up, and Cannizzaro's still catching.
Yeah.
I think DeBarro saw that and said, maybe I don't want to be up there. It's Jason Schue down on pit road now. He's been there for a little bit of time. Yeah, definitely a disappointing run here for Schue tonight. A lot of disappointing runs for drivers. Schue started 5th. Cannizzaro Sr. had some issues. Shane Ewing, the biggest issues of the evening for him. But all the guys who made up spaces have made up a ton. Nick Simpson made up 4. Tim Branson made up 5. Anthony DeBarro made up 8. Philip Scott, he's consistent. Started 3rd, running 3rd. Shane Ewing, the biggest loser on the evening, as he started 2nd and is going to be finishing P9.
Yeah.
And Joe, he was one of the drivers that we talked about in the start of the show, where he has a ton to pick up. He hadn't raced last week, but the guys he's racing around also are not racing tonight.
Yeah.
Between Ace House and Matt Schlosser, so there's just a couple of free points positions in his hand, but I don't think he's going to be able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate accident, and there's really no one to blame. He was by himself, but at least he's got the second race to try again. He qualified very high, so we might see him out here in about 8 or 9 laps.
Yeah, I think that's more likely than not going to be what happened. Is we see DeBarro, he gets around the 28 of Jamar Dumas. Schue is back out on the track. 12 laps down, a ton of left front damage after he and Cannizzaro Sr. tangled up and got into the wall. But he was running right around 4th or 5th all evening, so he's another driver just kind of licking his chops saying, all right, just get this dang thing finished already. Just put me out of my misery. Six laps remain in the first half of the Hoosier double here at IRP. Anthony DeBarro leads by a little over 3 seconds. Good battle here in front between Simpson and Branson.
But at this point, I assume we're going to try to fight for the next 4 laps to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they want to do, and that's just kind of for pride at this point.
Yeah.
And DeBarro sitting there just saying, guys, please don't involve me.
Kid, whatever you want to do. Don't include me.
And you can see there, DeBarro does wind it down, but now he's only got about a 2-second gap over Cannizzaro.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting, isn't it?
But just like that, white flag is in the air. DeBarro says, you know what? I'm going to drive away now. The gap has
1.5 seconds.
Does Cannizzaro try it? No, he does not try the Ross Chastain move. But DeBarro comes across the line. He's going to win race number 1 over John Cannizzaro. DeBarro wins it. Philip Scott comes home third. Nick Simpson able to hold off Tim Branson. With Jamar Dumas coming home in 6th place. As DeBarro burns it down, we'll get ourselves ready for the post-race interviews. And Joe, I believe you've caught up with our 3rd place finisher, Philip Scott.
Hey, Philip, congratulations on the podium finish. Rough race out there tonight. Lots of yellows, lots of action. Walk us through kind of what your game plan was.
Yeah, so this track is actually a lot of fun. I've done pretty good here in the past, but yeah, DeBarro's just unbeatable now, even if he starts at the back or whatever. I've been saying this is his like Max Verstappen 2023 year. Yeah, he's just I mean I took a gamble to stay out on older tires and hopefully get a yellow at the right time, but didn't pay off, and so I was stuck cooking my right front and finished like 10 seconds back or something. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, he's just unbeatable this year. I felt a little closer to John at the start of the run, but then his new tires kicked in later on in the run. But yeah, hopefully the big track goes better.
We actually we got some news up in the booth that you guys will be running this track again, but only for 50 laps.
Okay.
So surprise.
Oh. I see.
Yeah, so good luck. So
Alrighty.
I'm sure you got some shout outs for us before we re-rack and try this again.
Yeah, shouts to Team Ninja Association and yeah, and go to ninjaphil.design. I think that's all.
Absolutely. Well, congrats again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you in about a half hour or so.
Yep, let's hope.
All right, that's Philip Scott, our second place finisher. I'm now joined, or third place finisher rather. I'm now joined by our second place finisher, John Canizaro Jr. And well, John, an interesting one there. A couple of incidents that we don't normally see. Talk us through your race.
As you guys can tell, I've upgraded. I'm actually talking about this time in second place, not third place.
We're
great.
slowly moving up one position at a time.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that 27 car still shows up weekly, and quite frankly, regardless of what we do and what we say or what we want to do to beat him, I don't think that's ever going to change, barring whatever reason I feel like I want to believe. So, I thought this would be my race to win. This is a track I like a lot. I do a lot of short track testing here for when iRacing brings out new cars, and I say that like it's clockwork. I think every time I've ever shown up to this place, I've said that in an interview. But I win a lot here. I run good here in anything, and I was hoping that I could get a big enough lead under that first green flag run that if we ran green, I wouldn't have to worry about it. And unfortunately, my old man and Jason Schue decided to butt heads together. I guess my father still isn't a Dale Earnhardt fan after all these years. So, just, I ran what I thought was the good line. You ride the seam around this track and helps the car turn, or you just don't push the front tire and you'll be good on the long run. And I thought him running that big arc into the corner and diving in on the brakes would burn his right front up, and I was kind of stupid to assume that, as that never seems to happen. So I'm happy with the second place finish. It's an upgrade, a small upgrade, but it's an upgrade. I'm not going to complain about that. And it feels great.
Well, speaking of upgrades, I don't know if you've been made aware of the changes, but we're actually going to be doing the second of the double headers back here at IRP instead of heading over to the big track. So a short 50 lap shootout here at IRP. With that in mind, do you think there's any changes that you might make, or is that kind of hush hush strategy for you?
Well, I've never been one to silence my words when I wanted to talk about something, but well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't want to have to do what I think I'm going to have to do to try to finally get a win around here with two hands. So my only win with one, but just try to run my race again, and we'll see what I have to do.
Awesome. Well, John, congrats on the P2 finish, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you within the next little bit, one step higher.
Yeah, let's hope so. I do have my father sitting next to me, which is uncharacteristic. I'm not on my racing rig. This is the backup rig at my father's house. So I'm in close proximity to my father. Maybe that's why I'm driving a little bit weird.
There you go. That is John Canizaro Jr., our second place finisher here at IRP. And Joe, I believe you've caught up with our winner in Victory Lane, Anthony DeBarro.
Congrats. You from last to first. Apparently winning is the best medicine. Is that the plan?
Yeah, at the end there, I caught the lap cars and I started having a coughing fit, and I just, I just backed off, and I kind of I'm not getting involved with that. I just need to finish this, finish this deal.
We were talking about that.
I actually at last stop, I saw the first set of tires and the left sides were like 99, so I said like, you know what, I throw two tires on it because I knew that it would actually rotate better because I was fighting a little bit of a tight condition when I missed it, and I put two tires on it, just that little bit of wear on the left rear. That thing just rotated even better, like what I needed it to do on the last run. I knew like that these flat tracks, that kind of is usually what happens with this tire model, and I just use it to my advantage. I don't know if the other guys knew about that or thought about it, but it really, that thing just turned to a rocket ship the last run.
Well, I hope they're all listening, as you guys will be racing this track again in a few minutes.
Yeah, actually, I'm actually gonna park it for the night. I need to get some rest, honestly. I get up super early and I think losing sleep, and I don't need to be doing that with how I feel right now. So it was a struggle just to finish that race.
Yeah, go. I mean, from what I'm hearing, bronchitis and extreme racing don't usually go well together, especially after week. You always say you're sweaty after the races. How was the race while being in your current health status?
Kind of forgot about it until I had that fit there with 10 to go or whatever what that was. So I mean now I definitely feel it, but I just happy to bring it home. I had a really, I think if John was in control of the race, I don't think I would have been able to get around him. That restart, I nailed it, and I was able to stay on his outside into one. And I knew once I inched each corner, I kind of inched forward, and I knew the outside would finally prevail. And I knew when I took control of the race, it's kind of one of the reasons I took two, because I didn't want to get beat out of pit road and lose kind of control. I was surprised I was able to get by Phillip as quickly as possible, but that thing, like I said, it just rolled the center after I did that 2 tire stop.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure you've had some shout outs for us.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing this deal, and 2 races. We get double the broadcasting tonight, and hopefully the guys put a good show on for you this next race. And I'll try to be tuning in as I'm trying to go to sleep for sure to watch it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week.
Thank you guys.
All right, that's Anthony Tabara, our winner tonight here at IRP. And well, Joe, let's take a look here at the final results for race number 1 of the Hoosier doubleheader, as our winner, like we mentioned, is this guy, Anthony Tabaro. John Canizaro Jr. comes home second. Philip Scott in third. Nick Simpson picks up a 4th place finish with Tim Branson in 5th. Jamar Dumas in 6th. Jason Schue comes home 7th. John Canizaro Sr. in 8th. Shane Ewing, a very disappointing 9th. Same goes for Adam Stewart. And Garrett Gleason finishes in 11th. We're going to step aside, take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have race number 2 here at IRP. Stay with us. And welcome back to Tabletop Trio Podcast Network as we get ourselves ready to race here at IRP. So we get the field ready to race here. John Cannizzaro on the pole. Some tech issues here with our overlay.
We can't ask it to work twice in a row.
Well, of course not. So a bit of an issue. We're gonna try to get this solved here, as we're still waiting for a couple of cars to join up. But thanks for joining us here tonight on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. Part of the Hoosier double here at IRP. As the pace car decided they just wanted to take a little break. And as does our overlay this evening.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
So we're going to do our best to keep you updated on everything happening out there on the racetrack. John Cannizzaro on the pole. Philip Scott on starting second. Row number 2, we have the 28 of Jamar Dumas and Jason Schue. Row number 3, Cannizzaro Sr. with Nick Simpson. Tim Branson and, pardon me, Adam Stewart in row number 4. Garrett Gleason rounding out our field tonight. No Shane Ewing, no Anthony DeBarro for race number 2. So this is certainly going to be an interesting fight out front. As a pace
having a
car
little bit of blinking.
pulls off, and that's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially with him that far up front in the field.
Yeah. Hopefully that is just a little bit of early race issues.
And just like that, green flag is in the air. We're rolling here for race number 2. A great start there from Cannizzaro, as well as the 99 of Philip Scott. Jason Schue snags the ball a little bit. Oh, trouble. Nick Simpson, he gets tagged. He goes around. He's going to keep it together. But some heavy
Branson
damage
did not.
there on the 55. What happened there? As Branson had a bit of an issue starting the race, as a little bit of contact between the 4 and the 92. At the same time, the 11 and the 55 come together.
Like I said, start of the race, heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, mixture between that and I don't think anything truly boiled over from race number 1.
I don't think with those racers.
But interesting to say the least. And would you look at that, we have a overlay yet again.
We've done it.
I'm gonna knock on wood because I did literally nothing. As Jason Schue goes off on a little bit of an adventure.
Maybe the sun's throwing him off.
Yeah, the sun, maybe it's reflecting off the blue when he's used to seeing a black number 3 instead of the Rusty Wallace Miller Lite machine. Oh! 28 of Jamar Dumas, heavy contact to the outside wall. Let's see what happened there, because that was... How did that even happen?
That's a big hit.
Let's see with the 28, he just sideways overcorrected in the wall once, twice. He's able to keep it going at least.
Yeah, pretty smooth forward.
But now this is going to leave the race into the hands of the 77 and the 99. A couple of double numbers up at the front. Good battle here between Cannizzaro and Scott. Both of these drivers kind of sat there and said, all right, we know what we're doing at night. What can we do during the day? Some good battles brewing between these two. Another battle to keep an eye out for is this one right here between the 11 and the 55. You know, there are just as many double numbers as there are non-double double-digit numbers in this race. The things you think of.
Yeah, it's something. Right now, the closest battle on track is Nick Simpson and Cannizzaro Sr. They are going back and forth.
Yeah, Senior there grabs the wall. Some heavy damage after the contact with him in the 11. But it looks like that may just be a little more cosmetic than anything.
I'm interested with this only being 50 laps, if they're going to need to pit or not.
Yeah, I don't believe they will, because everyone else pretty much pitted on lap 42, I believe it was.
Somewhere thereabout.
So I don't think they'll need to, because Phillip didn't pit after lap 19. So I don't think they'll need to pit in this race. Which could honestly still make that pretty interesting. As now Tim Branson throws his hat in the ring in this fight. Three-way battle for 6th. Cannizzaro pulls to the inside. That's going to let Branson take the top side. But is that going to be enough? It is. Coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, you can catch all of the coverage from PAX Unplugged Philadelphia 2025.
That's going to be a good old time.
Cannot wait for that. Joe, Graham, and myself will all be there covering all 3 days. A lot of really cool interviews set up, some cool events that we're going to go see. Hopefully we'll be getting some really, really cool interviews. One of which we're still going to try to get, but have not had any confirmation or anything yet. But Jack Z. Whipper going to try to get, because I believe he's doing 2 shows, one on Friday and one on Sunday.
He's a mad lad.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that weekend goes for us. Meanwhile, out front, though, John Cannizzaro opening up a 1.7 second lead.
Everyone
got sideways there.
Everyone a little separated at the moment.
Yeah, very just kind of spread out. And
good.
No, I was going to say, and this looks to be one of the closest battles on track between Jason Schue and Adam Stewart.
Yep, that is the closest on track. Next up, not really that close, would be Nick Simpson and Tim Branson at almost a second and change apart from each other. That being said, it's going to get a little interesting as Cannizzaro is catching up on Cannizzaro.
So son catching father. And we'll see if Senior pulls over or if he's going to give Junior a hard time.
It was going to be interesting because, as he said in his interview, they are in the room together.
They are. Cannizzaro Jr. on the backup rig.
I wish we had their live mics for him just yelling, "You better move out of the way!"
Just get out of my way and we're going to be fine.
Don't make me get out of this sim rig.
So help me God, I will turn this rig around. I will unplug your steering wheel.
Right.
I don't care if you're my father.
I will turn this living room around.
Well, let's see. Junior goes for the move to the inside. Is Senior going to try to capitalize? He thought about it. Was waiting to see if the 55 would do anything. So 20 laps remain. Cannizzaro starting to put the field a lap down. Philip Scott 3.6 seconds back. A little bit of a gaggle of cars here. Stewart trying to track down Nick Simpson. Tim Branson trying to track down Adam Stewart. And oh, some trouble. A little bit of contact there between the 92 and the 4. That was certainly interesting. Take a look one more time. Let's go into slow-mo. As the 4 drives it in, the 92... Oh, it looked like the 4 slowed up and locked up and nowhere for the 92 to go. But they're both able to keep it going. And now here comes Cannizzaro Jr. trying to get around them, as he does.
No, they were playing nice.
Jason Schue heads down pit road. There's a piece of car there on the inside. Let's hope that's not related.
I'd have to imagine.
Well, seeing as though the 3 is missing a bumper.
That could be anybody's.
Let's take a look to see what happened, because last time we saw him, he had a car that was intact.
Yeah, maybe he gave it to a fan. Maybe not.
Oh, let's see. Out of turn 4, down the front straightaway. And that car did not want to turn.
Yeah, it's like he forgot to turn.
And the bumper just kind of lazily another hard lick there.
Yeah. I wonder if he was having a coughing fit.
That or his car did.
Yeah.
This here, though, the closest battle on the track between Adam Stewart and Tim Branson. These guys have kind of been around each other all night. They've both made contact with each other. Most recently, a couple of laps ago. Jump back on board here with the 92. Now Branson tries to go down low. He's going to try to get a drive off the corner. Can't quite get it that time. And I think if I'm Branson, I'm just kind of hanging out around the top, just keeping riding and just staying close. And then the second the 4 makes a mistake, that's when I try to pounce. Doesn't need to be immediate. But it certainly should be in a little bit of a hurry as we're down to 8 laps remaining. As the 92 trying to take a peek to the outside. He's going to try to cross him up down low. Here comes the 92. Branson to the inside. Almost contact with the 4. They stay separated. That's going to give the 4 a little bit of an advantage into turn 3. Philip Scott 1 lap ahead of this drama. Looking to get around these two cleanly. The WeltsClothing.com Ford of Adam Stewart and Tim Branson. Little contact there, little shove. How do you do?
I'm sure Philip Scott's looking at that like, hey, hey.
Guys, can we not? I'm sure that's what Philip is saying.
You guys feel free to wreck each other after I have passed.
Yes, let me around first and then have at it. Five laps remain. John Cannizzaro Jr. an 8-second lead over Philip Scott. And oh, trouble! Philip Scott and Adam Stewart come together. I don't think Scott was expecting Stewart to back off that much.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a little bit of a netcode issue or if it was a little bit of that blinking that he's been doing on and off. But it looks like Stewart was able to right himself.
Yeah, so we'll see how all of that pans out.
Yeah, something tells me that's why he blinked, because it looked like for a second he was full sideways. Him and a wall were going to be best friends.
Luckily, though, everyone able to keep it going the right direction, as now 2 laps remain here at IRP. White flag is out. 1 more lap around for the Wild Child. Clean down the backstretch. 2 more corners remain. A 12-second gap over Philip Scott coming out of turn number 4. John Cannizzaro Jr. wins at IRP.
Man, what a performance.
Philip Scott will come home second. Nick Simpson, our 3rd place finisher. Jamar Dumas in 4th. Tim Branson in 5th. Adam Stewart 6th. Senior comes home 7th with Jason Schue in 8th. So the 77 burns it down. And I believe Joe is caught up with our 3rd place finisher, Nick Simpson.
Hey, Nick, congratulations on the podium finish. Great racing out there. Ended up +3 positions from where you started. How'd you think the race was out there? How'd you think you did out there on the race?
It was good. It was a lot of fun. The track was a little warmer for the second run. I kind of took it easy for the first part, saved some tires, and sort of caught everyone up there towards the end. So it was good.
With that, were there any adjustments you ended up making between the 100-lap race and this 50-lap race?
No, nothing at all really. Just remain consistent. I was kind of disappointed we never did the big track. I feel like I'm better at the larger track at Indy's, but it was all fun.
Absolutely. With that, you seem to have done pretty great out there. You had a couple battles while we were out there. Did anyone kind of give you a run for your money out there?
Well, John Senior gave me a bit of a spin on the the opening lap, so I was chasing everyone down from there on in. Jamar always gives me a good race. Tim give me a good race. It was fun. I enjoyed myself tonight.
Absolutely. I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Thanks for everyone for putting on the league. It's been a lot of fun. I hope we can get some more drivers in there. Thanks to everyone that races out week in, week out, and spends the time. It's hard to keep your head in the game, so you got to stay focused, and the results come.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week.
Thank you.
All right, that's Nick Simpson, our third place finisher here tonight. And I'm now joined by our second place finisher, second interview of the night for him, driver of the number 99 machine, Philip Scott. And well, another step up on the podium, a second place finish for you. Talk us through your race here.
I felt lost. I was felt all right at the start. Something about the new Gen 4 I'm just not good at. I mean, relatively speaking compared to last season. Like something about the handling of the car and the weight of it, it just doesn't feel right to me. I can't like when it was like the Legacy Gen 4, it's like it was like an extension of my brain essentially. Like I was so used to it. But this car, it's just like something about the steering and stuff, it just doesn't quite suit me, and I need to get better at it. But yeah, it is what it is. Because then my car started handling so bad I couldn't even get by cars in lap traffic, couldn't use the bottom or anything. So I know I did something wrong. I might have been getting on the gas too soon. I was kind of like, I think maybe I was kind of feathering the throttle a bit too much too early, but I don't know.
Yeah, not entirely sure. I personally haven't driven this car yet at all, just during the broadcast, or just for doing the broadcast. So I don't fully know how this thing rides, but definitely does seem different compared to the previous version. Looking now to next week, going to be at South Boston, another flat, even shorter track than here at IRP. What are your thoughts heading there?
Yeah, I'm probably screwed again, but my main thing is I'm looking forward to hopefully getting 2 in a row at Homestead. I've had I mean that Homestead win last season was like my crowning achievement in TNR. But I'm actually pretty solid at it in other leagues. In Speed Cup on Thursday I got third there. So yeah, so I'm pretty comfortable with Homestead. So I'm hopefully just the way I'm good enough in it in multiple cars, I can get a good finish and hopefully win it.
Awesome. Well, Philip, I know you just had some shout outs, but do you have any more for us?
Not much. That's pretty much it. Team Ninja Association, and also I'm sure a shout out. I assume you're gonna be streaming our attempt of the Suzuka 1000.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So that is going to be a ton of fun. So 11 o'clock Eastern on my own personal channel, and I'll throw some mentions up on the Tabletop Trio channel as well. But Philip, congrats on the second place finish, and I'll chat with you on Saturday.
All right. See you.
All right. That's Philip Scott, our second place finisher. And well, Joe's made his way down to victory lane yet again with tonight's winner, John Cannizzaro Jr.
Hey, John, congratulations. You've made it to the top. You burned out for, I think, the whole track in celebration. How you feeling?
I get to talk to both of you in one night. This is it's a great night. Um, it's usually I'm pretty giddy up after I win. I try to treat every win the same. A win's a win. I'm not gonna say, oh, it was a great race and then log off. It's a little upsetting that I couldn't just beat DeBarro straight up and he had to go MIA for the second race. I don't know what the deal was, but I know he wasn't feeling good, but just feel like I redeemed myself. Showed what a long run's supposed to look like, and hey, I'll take the win. At least I can say I'm probably the first person in TNR history to win a race with one hand and then two hands. Just one of those races where you go out, you mind your business, and everything just seems to fall right. No cautions. Put myself in the outside wall 12 times, and I think I'm finally starting to get this tire saving thing down pat. This new car's kind of forced me to learn that, like, much against my will. So maybe I can keep trying to practice that and maybe stop finishing third every other week.
Well, you never know. It was a close race for a while until you started really pulling away. Were any adjustments made, or what ended up going on over there?
Well, I got this, when I drive late models and stuff like that, which is what I primarily drive on iRacing now. All my setups that I've ever been given or are all the fixed setups, my natural habit is I put the brake bias as far back in the car as it will let me go, and that is how I will run it for the entire race. I decided to try that for this race, and with about 10 laps to go, I've never experienced a virtual race car bouncing on the rear tires because it's got so much brake in it. So when I can tell you that's probably the worst thing I've ever driven in my life, I assure you that's not a fun experience.
No, that does not sound fun. Well, I know you've had shout outs, but now you're in first place. So do you have any more shout outs?
Well, obviously my father, it's a little bit different racing at his house with him because, I don't have to tell him anything. I can just kind of look over and give him a couple sign languages if it's ever so needed. He's not really too big of a fan of this track. Yeah, he's as if you can hear him in the background, he's threatening to hurt me after the broadcast now. It's a little bit weird. Usually when I am here, I would run on his rig, which is the full big curved monitor. And because he has to race with us, I have to race on what is essentially my rig now, which is tiny. It's not set up anything like any other, wheel I have, and it's got a weird brake issue, and the graphics are all screwed up. So it takes a lot of adjusting, but we even sawzalled the pedals off their posts just to make it more comfortable during practice in the first race. I'm not kidding. We took a saw to it and we had to make adjustments. So, obviously, got to thank him for everything. And, Tyler Avery, he paints all my cars for me. You guys put on the broadcast. Garrett, Mike, all those guys that put TNR on. I know we don't get, big car counts, but we still managed to have fun with the few guys we have. And my father's still talking about his chainsaw, but, it's a good group of guys, and hopefully next season we can turn something around and get some big car counts going on here.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week and in first.
Thank you.
All right, that's John Cannizzaro Jr., our winner here tonight at IRP for the second of two races for the doubleheader. Let's take a look here at the final results for tonight. Cannizzaro gets the win over Philip Scott and Nick Simpson. Jamar Dumas comes home fourth. Tim Branson in fifth. Adam Stewart sixth. Cannizzaro Sr. in seventh. Jason Schue in eighth. And Garrett Gleason comes home in ninth. Well, that will just about do it for us. You could join us next Monday evening at 8:30 right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network for TNR's race at South Boston. It's going to be such a fun race, so make sure you tune in for that. So for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
And this has been the Hoosier Doubleheader here at IRP. Thanks for watching.